Hey there, everybody. This is Jackie Broll.
Folks, people, this is Dunlap.
And if you like what you hear on here, tell you what, you want to hear more of it or something else like this, go straight to our Patreon page.
Patreon.
Patreon page. If you give us $1, we'd appreciate it kindly. If you give us $5, you'll get an extra 20 minutes with him over here and me.
That's pretty good, Jackie. You sounded like you was on PBS.
What?
You sounded like you was on PBS.
I mean PBS, right?
When they do their PBS things.
Oh, yeah. What? But you get a tote bag or something from them. We're doing more talking.
I can't help it.
Hey, look at there. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey there, everybody. It's Jackie Broll's on here.
Folks, people, this is Mr. Uncle Dunlap, your best friend, cousin, the guy who your mother's warned you about.
What?
I don't know about that one. Because I always thought I did pretty good with mamas. Like if they were like, I like that Dunlap boy, you should go out with him some more.
What?
Are you paying attention to his needs? Are you giving him what he wants? If are you paying attention to him when he talks?
What?
I just figured mothers were always pulling for me. I always thought mothers was in my corner.
Mothers?
Like when I was dating mother.
You were dating mothers?
Folks, it's a great day to be an American.
Well,
It's a terrific day. Folks, if you're a new listener, me and Jackie have been doing things on the computer for a long time, and always was we Republican conservatives.
yep. Used to be, yeah.
Now, Trump is in the White House, and we are Republican conservatives who hate Trump, although if you listen to Jackie a lot of the time, he sounds just like a goddamn liberal.
Shut your mouth. I do not.
To me.
No. Just because
Regular David Hogg over here.
Oh, hell.
Like imagine David Hogg in the school play
What?
playing a grizzled old drunk.
Oh, shut your mouth.
That's Jackie Brown.
No, it ain't. It
He's
ain't
coming
nothing
for
like
your
that.
guns.
I ain't ever marched for nothing, and I don't want anybody's guns. I won't keep my own guns, thank you very much. I got a pistol. I got a rifle. I don't need nothing else. End of story. I think every American citizen should have a pistol and a shotgun. Ain't no need for these, weapons of war. Don't need any of that stuff. I don't see why anybody needs that.
Hillary Clinton Jr. over here.
Oh, shut
Regular
your
Hillary
mouth.
Clinton Jr. You love Hillary Clinton.
I do not
I'm
love...
just trying to let new listeners know, all those fabled new listeners
What?
coming into the show for the first time, know that Jackie Broles hates Donald Trump.
Well, yes, absolutely. Yes, sir, yeah.
And he loves Dennis Kucinich.
No, I don't. Nobody loves Dennis Kucinich.
What about his wife?
I was about to say, but maybe. But we met her once years ago. I don't know.
Folks, this is how long we've been doing Red State Update. There was a time when talking to Dennis Kucinich was a coup.
Yep.
And talking to his wife was an even bigger coup.
This is the most Dennis Kucinich has been mentioned probably in the past, I'd say 6 months, something like that.
I'm going to hashtag Dennis Kucinich this shit.
Hey, don't have to say it like that.
Is he still alive?
I think so. I don't remember if somebody.
Is Dennis Kucinich still alive?
Checking on that, Dennis Kucinich was born October 8th, 1946, and is 71 years old.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's younger than the damn dumbass president we got. Excuse my language. I don't
Jackie hates President Trump.
Well,
President Trump. Do you remember, Jackie, when George Washington founded this country?
what?
Remember when George Washington
I
founded
don't
this
remember
country?
it. I learned it in school. I don't remember it.
Do you remember all the obstacles he faced? Do you remember
Weather, yeah.
when the special prosecutor raided his thug lawyer's office? Do you remember that?
No.
You remember how George Washington had a funny gangster lawyer, like a fake lawyer, like a Sopranos lawyer, like the sort of lawyer like a third tier. You remember those gangsters who were only on for like an arc?
No.
Not Paulie or somebody good, but the ones that that's right, Furio. He was on there for a long time. It'd be like, but sub Furio, like a Sopranos sub Furio character's lawyer. Is what our president has. No, you don't remember that, Jackie, because George Washington was too smart to have such a dumb lawyer.
Well, yeah. I ain't most people, well, yeah.
A fixer. Have you ever had a fixer?
A what?
A fixer. They say this lawyer of Trump's.
That's what you call fixer. What it does is run around and pay women that the president had sex with, tell them to shut up. That's what it does. And God knows what else. I don't want to know. Evidently, somebody wants to know, though.
Obviously not that good of a fixer.
Well, no. Not good at all as far as I can tell.
Not very secretive.
Nope.
Because all this comes out. The women keep talking.
Yep.
Nothing got fixed.
I ain't seen nothing that, of course, there could be a lot of stuff we don't know about yet, but,
I'm going to go on record and say that Michael Cohen, the president's lawyer, fixer, gangster thug, has never fixed anything in his life.
No.
He's never fixed he's never started a fire.
Yeah. He probably never put a light bulb in.
Never checked his oil.
Yeah.
And he especially has never fixed anything for Donald Trump. But does Donald Trump have anybody working for him who is competent at their job?
At this point, I don't know if there ever was, and I don't know if there is now. I don't know.
Has he ever had? I mean, he had money at some point, right? I think you got to go back to the 80s to try to figure out exactly what happened. But he got that money from his daddy.
Yeah.
And then him and some gangsters run around.
Oh, yeah.
And they did some, crooked deals, and then he called reporters and told them that who he was going out with.
Oh, no.
And then he wrote editorials saying execute black people, and then he was in Home Alone 2, and then after that he got on NBC and then started calling in to Fox from his couch. He wrote that escalator down, said Mexicans were rapists, and got elected president.
Yep.
But
all that's true, yeah.
that's blind fucking luck.
Hey,
That's
watch your language.
like if Gladstone Gander was a fucking asshole.
Watch your mouth. I ain't going to hear that language.
You heard me.
I know I heard you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you say all that. I agree with the principle of what you're saying. I don't want to hear a word.
So he didn't even have a good press agent. He was calling up newspapers on his own, making shit up, and they all knew it.
Yeah.
He's never had a good, when his hair went, he obviously didn't go to anybody good then.
Those two things, neither of those have changed. He's still making up stuff every day, and no one believes it. That's still, now more people believe it than back then. Nobody cared one way or the other. But now people, I guess, are the American citizens care. They seem to care a lot about what he has to say.
Rich guy on TV would have access to clothes that fit. Not so good there either.
Nope.
Just sort of shitty all around. His products tank.
Yep. He just loudmouth Yankee as far as I'm concerned. Whenever I don't remember him before his TV show. That's the only place I remember. First off, I didn't watch a show. Be change channel over that guy. And that was hopefully all I was ever going to think of.
Sometimes Clint Black would be on there.
Well, you swip through the channel. Oh, look, he's there. What's he doing? What's he on this for? Yeah. But I hopefully thought that's all he'd ever be. Of course, I wasn't hoping it then. I'm hoping now. But I just said that's another idiot on TV I ain't going to pay attention to. Now I got to pay attention to him. I ain't got no choice. Idiots on TV all the damn time.
So it seems to me the only people who've ever worked with Trump that were successful at anything are the fucking Russians.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Because all the other people from his campaign have either been fired or quit in disgust or figured out they don't know how to actually do the things they were hired to do. The people running his campaign it was blind luck. As much as I hate to admit it, and I don't understand it, somebody please explain it to me. There is something about Donald Trump that people like.
I ain't seen it yet. Now, some people just like awful things. There's awful people in the world. Now, you're going to say, oh, he being like Hillary saying deplorables and whatnot. But can't you say deplorable when you see a bunch of people, Nazis, where you sig heiling them, saying is, Trump, aren't those, but we used to be able to agree that was bad people, period. That was it. Nazis bad, end of story. But now it's a gray area, which it shouldn't be, but because if you call in a Trump supporter a racist, they throw a fit. But they're Nazis. Of course they're racist.
Just because Nazis agree with you about your choice for the President of the United States does not mean it does.
Yeah.
Folks, look. Donald Trump is President of the United States of America today. Today is Wednesday, April 11th, 2018. He is President of the United States of America. He was elected by the citizenry of America with a little help from my friends overseas. And I say, Jackie, I'm going to make my prediction right here. He ain't going nowhere.
Where would it go?
They ain't going to impeach him.
Nope.
He ain't going to quit in disgust. Because he got a taste of it now. He got a taste of it. He likes it.
He likes being mad and angry all the time. He got the perfect job for that.
Because now people care. What if your job... What if you got hired for a job and the job description was like, do something important, but instead you made that job, I get mad, and then the press reports about it. Imagine, Jackie, if every time you went down the road and somebody cut you off, you were like, you SOB, son of a bitch, and then the newspapers got word of it. Not even that. It wasn't even like, Jackie's mad. They have to talk to, the New York Times has to talk to sources that don't say who they are, and then there's an article about the sources just because you got mad because you cussed somebody under your breath. There's a series of articles about that in the newspaper every time you get mad. That's fun.
Well, I don't know.
Why would you want to quit that?
I wouldn't want that. That's what it did on TV, didn't it? Get mad and tell people that's what he does. What is he? I mean, was there ever a time when he was charming or anything like that? I don't remember that.
People think he's charming.
Who thinks that? Nazis?
People say that there is a divide in this country over identity politics and things like that. But I say that the divide in this country is even simpler than that. Do you look at Donald J. Trump, our president of America?
Yeah.
And does your stomach turn in disgust and you have to turn away, making a gagging noise?
Yep.
Or do you look at him and go, I can't wait to hear what he has to say today, with glee in your eyes?
Yeah.
It's like that on the internet. Like, is this coat blue or gold? Was it a coat?
What was it?
Was it an animal? What was it that was blue or gold?
Blue, gold.
On the internet, you looked at a thing, and some people said it was blue, and some people said it was gold.
Oh, the computer.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is like that, except the future of the free world hangs in the balance. Do your eyes see blue? Or do your eyes see a fascist, racist, brain-addled asshole?
Now, to me, you either see that or you're blind. That's all. I don't see the difference, but I guess, whatever.
Well, that's ableist. Folks, a lot of countries, I guess we're just going to rant about Donald Trump for a while. People love this. Some countries get an asshole for president. We've had plenty.
Oh, yeah.
Some countries get a fascist for president. Some countries get a racist for president. Some people get I've just never seen. Some people have presidents that go crazy. Some get dementia. I've never seen it all just Into one package.
Rolled up in one, yeah.
It's like when you go to the store for Halloween and you get the bag with the big Snickers and Reese's and all in one thing. You're like, shit, these kids are going to love me. Except this one's going to cause a nuclear holocaust.
Yeah. Unless somebody does something, but guess what? Ain't nobody going to do a damn thing.
Maybe it won't cause a nuclear holocaust. Maybe we'll just watch and go. Liberals get madder and madder, and Never Trumpers get madder and madder, and Jackie gets madder and madder, and crazier, and then we're the ones that get locked up. Donald Trump laughs all the way. What will he do after he's done being president? Or will he just die in office in, like, say, 2028?
I wish him the best of it. If whatever it is, if he's out of office, just go do it now. Go do it now. That's what I don't understand. He don't like it, I don't guess. But I guess of course he likes it. Everybody's talking about him all the damn time. Even if it's mean stuff, it don't make any damn difference. He's getting constant attention. He's a 3-year-old baby. When they sit there and got mad, they raided the lawyer sitting there in front of a 4-star general, the elite of the elite. These men worked their butts off serving this country, got to where they were, and they're sitting by a man throwing a fit like a 2-year-old.
Listen, Jackie, generals have nothing but respect for flabby babies who can't control their emotions.
I don't know how they managed to sit through all that and not throw up on the table, I'll be honest, because I did a little bit where I was. Just shameful.
Where was R. Lee Ermey when we need him?
Who?
R. Lee Ermey when we need him.
It
was a little bit like, it was like in Full Metal Jacket if Kingpin had grown up and become president instead of what sadly happened to him.
Oh, yeah, it's the Army, yeah. Marines, yeah.
People in America like getting mad now, though. This is a hobby that we have, and there are things to get mad about. Don't get us wrong. Lord knows we've been talking for 17 minutes about just being mad. But people really enjoy it, so why shouldn't the president? So the president gets to be mad, and he gets covered. He gets mad. Fun. Everybody loves being mad. Think about everybody on Twitter, everybody on Facebook who gets mad.
What else do they do on there? Ain't that what it's for? You get mad at them and they're mad at you. I thought that's just what all happens on the computer. Somebody mad all the time. Somebody having a fight. Somebody on TV's mad at this person on TV. They don't like him. She don't like her. People try to tell me, thank God I don't know how to work a computer. I don't have to look at it.
Oh, speaking of people who don't know how to work a computer.
Yeah.
Facebook went to Washington.
Oh, Computer Boy. Yeah, I saw a little Computer Boy. He went, well, I didn't watch it all. I guess but I saw he went up there, sat in front of all of them, yeah.
If you want Mark Zuckerberg to look good, sit him in front of Congress. He still looks weird. I ain't saying he look weird. I'm just saying.
He weird looking he looked like a Computer Boy, looked like he, yeah. He's missing the Harry Potter glasses. He showed glasses, not necessarily Harry Potter's. That's a wizard. That's not a scientist.
Dobby didn't wear glasses.
Who?
Listen, let me tell you, he does look like a computer boy in that a computer that had never seen a boy 3D printed it. Like a worse Pinocchio. Like Geppetto will be like, yeah, let's just keep him as is. Blue Fairy come down like, can we just go like the American Doll and do one of them up live? Sounds creepier than I meant it to.
Wow.
So Mark Zuckerberg went to Washington, and nobody in Washington knows how Facebook works, which is weird because it seems like Facebook is at the point where the only people who know how to work it are going to be 80-year-olds while everybody else has moved on.
Yeah.
Like, that should be scary to Mark Zuckerberg because the last of his market is 60 to 80-year-olds. Nobody else is going to be left on there, but the 60 to 80-year-olds don't know how to work it. So he needs to start advertising in AARP, take some of that Russian money, go over to AARP, put ads in there, have people on the phone, because the only way you can explain things to old people is 3 hours on the phone.
Well,
they don't want it any other way.
He just did like an infomercial right there. Him explaining what a computer is to Orrin Hatch. That's, people, I need to talk to that young man, yeah.
People thought he was from Texas Instruments. Listen, if Mark Zuckerberg yesterday, people were like, oh, he did pretty good. At the end of the day, he was today he got hammered over Diamond and what's her name?
I think
Silk.
Diamond Silk, the two ladies that love Trump, love him to death, yeah.
We should have talked to them at some point.
I wouldn't mind talking to them. I want to ask them why. Like I said, there's plenty of people seem nice, but they love him, and I don't understand it. I want to know why they love him so much. Don't make a bit of sense to me. Get in touch with them. If they talk to us,
Why do they not have a Fox show, though? Why is everybody so worried about their Facebook videos? No, but listen, first of all, nobody gives a shit about their Facebook videos. All these people were using them as props, so they had something to talk to Mark Zuckerberg about that they could understand. And the understanding thing was flipping the script on here's black people that we like.
And you're mean to them, yeah.
You're mean to them.
Why are you mean to black people? Yeah.
Everybody's always like, Putin is laughing, but I don't even think Putin would laugh at this. I think he'd just be like, what the fuck is happening? Can somebody explain this to me? Like they're talking to the guy who runs Facebook today again, sir. It's like, oh, fuck, it's probably it.
Hey.
It's like, get the helicopters ready. And then it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Hey, watch your mouth now.
Hell, shit.
I don't want to hear the language.
I think Putin, because Putin is he's old. He's from the Cold War, right? He worked his way up. He's been around a long time.
KGB, yeah.
He's seen it all. I think like a lot of us of a certain age, we remember how things used to be, and it confuses us. Like, Republicans like Russia? So Putin, I'm pretty sure, keeps thinking, the Americans they're about to wise up. I'm sure he's had like 40 times since Trump started running for office. He's like, well, jigs up, fellas. This was fun, but we need to move on. And then the next 5 minutes later, I cannot believe, did you hear that? Like, he can't believe it. I think he wants it to be over. Like, I can't believe we're still talking to Trump people.
He's over the laughing at this point. Now he's just exhausted. He didn't, he laughed out.
Winner. Putin. Whatever. I don't know. I'm no Russianologist. I can't say exactly what Vladimir Putin hoped to accomplish in our last election. But I'm going to say whatever it was, he did it, and then some. It brings me no joy to say that Vladimir Putin won whatever game he was playing.
No.
But he did.
Got an extra for it, too. Extra, yeah.
You know what I bet are terrible? Russian board games.
And I thought that's what chess was.
Gulag.
What is it?
Oh, chess is a Russian board game, isn't it? Is it?
I don't know. Hell, that's how Russians used to play it. I don't know. I never did play it.
I don't know where chess is from, how it came to be, how you play it, what it is, really.
The little horses, the little knights and stuff. I don't know. Castle or something. I don't know anything about it.
If I wanted to be confused by a game with castles and horses, I'd play Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't know what that is either.
But here's where Putin may be confused today, or he may be pulling new strings. I'm a little confused. Trump hates Russia now? Jackie, explain.
What?
Why is Trump threatening Russia all of a sudden?
Why does Trump do anything? It don't make a damn bit of sense to me. I don't know. Now, the last time was to Syria, they bombed Syria, supposedly. Now, this is what they say on TV. Now, he called him up and said, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Gave him a heads up on it and probably got approval. So is something like that going on again? I don't know. Saying, I got to talk tough to you on Twitter twice for a couple of days, and it'll blow over. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. I hate sounding like a damn conspiracy theorist. I hate it. I used to hate them. Hate everybody sitting there saying JFK this, JFK that, all this. Even on the Democrats, Vince Foster, now there's something to that.
You endorsed Hillary Clinton by the end of the campaign.
I didn't look at my options. What choice did I have?
That's what Trump people say.
Oh, hell.
You can admit you like her.
No, I don't like her. No. I'd be miserable, but in a different way if she was,
That's a good assessment.
Yeah. This is something different. I don't know what this is. I've had awful presidents before. I've had, America's gone through, plenty of terrible presidents, but nothing like this. This ain't, This looks like Nixon just didn't, got a slap on the wrist, didn't. I don't know what the hell this is. Who does? Nobody knows what it is. All Republicans are dropping out, leaving, right? They're all sitting there. Well, I ain't decided not to run. Paul Ryan today decided he ain't going to, And then they said, it ain't got nothing to do with the They all think they're going to get beat. And then they turn around and take a picture with him with the thumbs up. Some of them will come out and say, he don't need to fire Mueller, doesn't need to do this or that. Then other ones are hiding somewhere because they don't want to say nothing. And then you got the crazy ones like Nunez and whoever the rest of them just saying, no, we need to get rid of the FBI altogether. And that's the Republican Party for it. Some of them don't want to be seen. Some of them, kind of say something bad about him, a little bit say something bad about him.
But they're all going to be gone.
I know it.
There ain't going to be none of them left. They either quit, not going to get elected, or retired.
They might as well be, because they ain't doing nothing.
So when they're gone, then what? The Republicans are just Trumpies and people crazier than Trumpies?
That's what I guess the Republican Party is now. They're all leaving.
But you hate them too.
Well, I do for them not doing anything. They're all sitting on the thumbs up the rear ends, doing nothing, and watching this man destroy everything, law and order. Just everything he's done.
What an existential crisis for longtime Republican and conservative Jackie Broles on the internet since 2005.
Right.
Folks, Jackie, what is Paul Ryan retiring to do?
He says he wants to go spend time with his family.
Did he talk to his family first?
Bless their hearts,
He doesn't have a real family, right? He just shows people a picture that come with the frame and says, they're waiting on me.
Yeah.
He just has a house. Where is he from? Wisconsin? I should know this.
Yeah, you should know.
Political podcast.
Yep.
He got a house somewhere. It's just empty except for a home gym.
He decided he wanted his family to suffer instead of the American people, I suppose, for now.
Hey, pass it around. But it's everybody's burden, Paul Ryan.
But
Paul Ryan's going to come live with every family in America for 1 week just to pass the burden. Listen, conspiracy theory, I got conspiracy. People are always spotting these crisis actors, right? Like they say the Parkland kids are crisis actors. Yeah. Do they even say that anymore, or they just moved on to just straight up hating them?
I think they just don't like them now at this point. No crisis actor could be as good as David Hogg,
Was there ever a teenager this hated by the right in America?
Not that I can remember. I'm trying to think.
Maybe
ago.
like when Archie went through a particularly hippie phase.
Yeah, they didn't like any of those hippies. They didn't like any of the Beatles or them people. They never did like them.
There was probably like an episode of like Pep Comics where Archie's dressed up like Elton John in 1974, and people were like, "Nope, I'm writing a letter to the editor." Remember that was when that was the worst you could do?
You had to go out of your way to do that. Now you just get on the computer on your phone.
Had to buy a stamp.
Yep. By the time you go through all those steps, see, you realize, like, hell.
You had either calmed down and didn't send it, or gotten drunker and did.
Yep.
But conspiracy theory, people always spotting these crisis actors. I cannot imagine that Paul Ryan has not hired the exact same family to pretend to be his family. He has to have slipped up like, well, what's Connie, where's she working? Knott's Berry Farm? Can we find somebody that looks like her at least? Plus, I don't think there's conspiracy theories when it comes to Trump. The things you're saying are conspiracy theories. It's all out in the open.
Well,
when Mueller presents his case, if he don't get fired, this is going to be like the front page of the Washington Post for the last year and a half.
very much, yeah.
So somebody just made a scrapbook with cut out headlines.
And this one he did this, and then he did that. Yeah, tell me something new. Nope.
Jackie,
Why?
do you think Paul Ryan's going to grow his beard back?
I don't care what he does. Let him go. He's a coward. They're going to run off like the rest of them. Got the tax bill. They cashed out. I got some money out of this. I'll see y'all later. He made if they said between $4 and $7 million how much he made while he been in office.
What? How?
You tell me.
He does look like when he had that beard, like if his hair had grown out a little bit and maybe he was wearing like a floppy cowboy hat, he did look like somebody in a Western hiding from somebody.
Yeah.
Either a deserter or a wanted murderer or the coward of the county. I'm not sure.
Matt Dillon will have to ask him a few questions on Gunsmoke, yeah.
Where are you headed, partner? Nowhere, I don't reckon.
See my family.
Do you think that President Trump, Jackie, you remember President Trump, who's president of the United States of America? I
can't.
Do you think he's going to fire? Here's a question. This is an ending question for today's politics segment. For new listeners, Jackie's a longtime Republican who hates Trump. And
all right, everybody
then
knows.
after this, we're going to do our sponsors. But to close up the politics segment of today's podcast, Jackie, do you think that Donald Trump, furious in front of generals over the raid on his criminal lawyer's office, do you think that Trump will fire Rosenstein? Do you think he'll fire Mueller? Well, I don't know who all he has to fire.
He has to go. We want to get rid of, even though Sessions recused himself, if he's doing all that firing, there's no reason for him to leave Sessions around. He might as well start with him because he just mad at him, period.
Right.
So get rid of him. Now, Rod Rosenstein, now that's what I heard somebody was telling me. This is the plan that they're trying to see what people think of this. I'm going to fire Rod Rosenstein, not because of Mueller or nothing, not because of that. I'm going to fire him because he's the one that suggested that I fire Comey, and that's what started all this. And if you remember back in, why did Trump fire Comey? Because he treated Miss Hillary Clinton too rough. That's why Trump fired Comey right there. Damn. Didn't have nothing to do with Russia.
Trump loves Hillary as much as you do.
More, I guess. He wants to lock her up every other day, but when it comes to the FBI, it's too much. Maybe he don't want the FBI after anybody, evidently.
Maybe when he says lock her up, he meant so I can keep her close to me because we're such good friends.
Yeah.
I don't want you getting out of my sight, HC.
So I don't know how that's going to play. It'll play just like everything else he says to his, to his people.
Matter.
But no, it don't matter what he says. But no, that supposedly he's thinking about firing Rod Rosenstein because he's the one that told him he had to write the memo to fire Comey, and that's how all this mess got started. I should have never fired Comey is what he's going to say. It's all his fault. And then whoever he puts in there, he'll make damn sure that they'll fire Mueller.
Comey's book's about to come out. That's just going to make Trump even angrier.
Oh, he going to be furious about that. They already showing a little, what they call him, like my boss, what he said, something like that. He going to be on every channel. That's all Trump's going to see for, a few weeks anyway.
I heard they were trying to get him out of the country. Now that trip was canceled. Now he's just going to be sitting at home watching Comey on TV. Folks, if you have a bunker of any sort, I would suggest making sure you got some Spam in there and some Beanie Weenies. Just hunker down until the Comey book tour is over.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, we can't go now, Jackie. We forgot one important thing. And it does bring up the question, what will Jeff Sessions, noted anti-pot crusader, do once he leaves office after being fired by President Trump? He will probably join the board of a dope company, just like our old friend John Boehner.
You showed me that. Yeah, you told me he's going to be working for drugs now.
I guess he's working for drugs. He's going out Colorado, California, somewhere, getting a job in a pot shop. Going, hey, you want indica, sativa? How do you? Which one? You know what I got here? I got some purple. I can't think of any good dope names for him to say.
He should have just stuck to the booze and cigarettes. He don't need to add that to it. But
you want how about a jar of orange Boehner? Would you like them? It's a jammy, fruity. I don't know what Boehner would say. Listen.
I just automatically smell cigarettes when you say his name. I just,
Is that what that is?
Yep.
They say his name 3 times. It smells like.
Smell like somebody smoking in here, yeah.
He is going to. If I'd been in charge of the Republicans, I mean, how could you get as relaxed as he needs to be? You can't do it with wine alone. You got to add pot to the mix.
Well, I tell you what, now, him and Obama were kind of friends a while back, but now, guess what?
They're going to be best buds.
You're right about
so
that.
To speak. You remember that Red Man, Method Man movie?
What?
They should remake that. Well, since I left office, I've been on sort of a vision quest, I guess you'd call it. I'm really looking for something to kind of blow my doors off. So I think that John Boehner, I hope he enjoys his time on the pot board. I'm sure he's also going to be advocating for the release of all the people who got thrown in jail for minor pot offenses under his watch, while he gets the big pot money.
Yep.
While people in jail for selling a little. I mean, you know what it's like, don't you, Jackie? You got to sell a little every once in a
No,
while.
I don't. I never did drugs. Don't like them, never will
Wait,
do
you
drugs.
mean to tell me you never sold any drugs?
Of course I never sold any damn drugs. I'm offended you'd even suggest such a thing. I don't do them. I don't like them. I don't like being around them. I know you own them half the damn time.
That's true.
Well, don't bring it up around me. You don't want to hear about it.
All right, then what's that fucking
Watch your mouth.
BC powder you're always using?
That's aspirin stuff. That's not drugs. It don't make me feel high or nothing. It make my headache go, my knees quit aching.
Really?
Well, sometimes I take enough of it.
Fuck, I used to
Watch
say,
your mouth. I don't want to
oh man, I put some of this BC powder in this beer. I am fucked up.
All right, watch
I was
your
like,
mouth.
give me some of that Robitussin and put this BC powder in here. And all I was doing was like relieving aches and pains. No wonder people think I'm an idiot.
Well,
And nobody wants to hang out with me. Like John Boehner. I need to join a pot board.
I didn't know those jobs were available to people like him. I guess what kind of clout does that bring you in the marijuana business? Like, well, guess who we got? John Boehner. Like, are they bragging about that? Are they calling up High Time? What that magazine High Time used to have in the store years ago till I found out what it was?
Let me tell you, if John Boehner gets on the cover of High Times magazine, I'm buying like 40 issues of that, having them framed and put up all around my walls.
I ain't ever. Years ago, I had it in the store here, and I didn't know what it was. I wouldn't have had it.
What did you think it was?
I didn't know what it. High Times. I didn't know what it was. It could have been anything. Who knows?
It's true. In the 70s and early 80s, everything seemed to be a little influenced by pot.
Well, but that's the hippies' fault. Yeah. Hey, everybody, this is Jackie Bros. Are still on here.
Folks, people, this is Dunlap the man, and this is, if you're a new listener, you might recognize this as...
All right.
Oh, that's the sound of a beer can
12,
opening.
act like you're 12 years
Listen,
old.
And
Nobody-
long-time listeners know that's the signature sound of the Red State Update podcast. A lot of people might say it's Jackie's obnoxious bray or my
What?
seductive tones.
Tones.
But I think for most people, it's the sound of a beer can opening, and that's what we strive to give you every week, folks. You're going to want to tune in to this podcast and hear the sound of a beer can opening. That's the Red State Update podcast. Thank you for joining us. Remember to subscribe, rate, and review.
You need to watch how you word things because you were going to get in trouble at what is it, FCC or something like that. When you said that's what you get every time you listen to this, people going to think you going to give them a beer. Like, give them one, not just a sound of one. The way you said it sounded like everybody's going to be expecting a beer if they listen to this, and that I ain't buying it for them.
So you're saying that if people expect a beer when they listen to this podcast, that who they should complain to is the FCC?
Or somebody like that. Who does for podcasts on a computer? Who's like a FCC or something?
Jackie.
When you put a false, say something you ain't supposed to say, you say a false advertisement or something.
I mean, I guess it's nobody.
It's not what? It's not fake news, fake podcasts? So you can say whatever you want on here then.
Jackie, this is basically going out to no one. There are people who are giving us money, and those are the only people we should respect.
Oh, well, okay, yeah.
The FCC has no jurisdiction here. Trump's stooges cannot reach us here. Oh, can they?
They do something on the computer, didn't they? Neutralities. Remember?
That's a good point.
They did all that neutralities on the computers.
Good point, Jackie.
And I don't know what it is, but I know people that like computers don't like it. That's all I know.
Tech update with Jackie Bowles.
Right.
Folks, hey, what do you think of them new Apple Watches?
What is it?
FCC won't let me be me. So, how's it go?
I don't know what you're talking about, ABC.
They tried to shut me down on MTV. And then he probably said something homophobic.
What?
I should stop before I get to that part, and then I have to be like, oh, God, do I just keep going or do I stop? You have to stop.
Just stop.
But there's still a part where it's like, well, if you don't, I mean, people are going to know that you're not saying. So used to, 5 years ago, people would consider, should I say the offensive word? Because otherwise I'm going to seem like everybody knows. But now it's just like, no, you shouldn't say the offensive word. I don't know. Why did we think that we were supposed to? Why was there a consideration that you were somehow not doing a job of some sort if you didn't go, like, just really push that extra button? You remember that extra button people tried to push?
Well, they don't need to push it no more. I don't like to hear anything offensive. I don't like the language you use. I don't like it.
The language I use?
Yeah.
Like fuck?
The way you...
That's only offensive to old people with church ears.
Well, I don't go to church as
I'm
much
talking
as
about
I should.
slurs, not fun
I don't want
cuss words. Everybody enjoys.
Shut up. I don't enjoy it. Not everybody enjoys it. There's some people listen to this and get tired of it like me, I'm sure.
Well, listen, Jackie, why don't you crawl back into your coffin where old people belong,
shut up.
and I bet you won't hear nothing offensive in there. Just the worms burrowing softly and intently into your brain to eat it.
What is it?
Just the worms.
Oh, shut up. Enough of you.
Folks, you're listening to Red State Update Podcast. If you're a new listener, Jackie is,
I'm me. That's enough. I don't want to hear another description for you. Just leave it alone. Well, we got to do our sponsors on here. We appreciate all of you giving to the Patreon. We need a little extra going, and $25 what the sponsors give us, and we'll say a name on here. And I'm proud to tell you that I'm involved with this particular sponsor. I don't want anything to be biased or anything like that, but it involves me. But it's something I'm proud of, and I like being part of it. Now, I got some bad news, unfortunately. All y'all who will listen to this, I'm the official wrangler of the H-Dogs for the show.
The H-Dogs.
Previously known as A Loud Wet Heart, which is the story of Junior Samples. Life story. It's a musical on stage being directed by Victor Mileage. The H-Dog, that's just a nickname I give them. That's what they want to call
What does
them.
H stand for?
Well, in the program, you know what it stands for. Something you started, and I don't want to say it all.
Hot dogs?
No.
Handsome dogs?
No. You know what it stands for.
Horny dogs?
Just shut up. No, it don't mean horny dogs. Just shut up.
Are they horny, though?
They're sick.
How horny are them dogs?
They're not. Shut up. They ain't got nothing to do. I'm with these dogs all day. They don't act that way. No, sir. They're just sick. These dogs, there's a lot of people say.
That you can get too sick to be horny.
All right. Shut your mouth.
You know what's a word people shouldn't say is horny?
All right. There you go.
'Cause
Offensive.
I like all sorts of dirty words.
Oh, shut up. You remember Loretta Lynn said that on the radio, and she got in lots of trouble. I wish that all come down on you. I wish you had a what was his name? Boo
Radley.
Boo Radley.
Loretta Lynn's husband, Boo Radley.
Had someone like that to knock you around every time you said something you ain't supposed to.
What?
On here.
So tell me that story again.
In the movie Coal Miner's Daughter, she
Folks,
said,
we're doing a little cocaine rhinestones.
"Oh, shut up!" In the movie, the coal miner's daughter, she said the word you were saying. She said it on the radio because she didn't know what it meant. And then when she said it on the radio, she said to eat bologna, and I get what you said.
Horny?
Yes.
And then what happened?
They got in trouble. Somebody, but it wasn't her fault. She wouldn't have said it if she'd have known what it meant. But, Boo Radley should have totally explained it to her, what it meant before they went on the radio, so I think he's responsible. But either way, she got in trouble for it, and you ought to get in trouble for doing it on here. I don't know who is a Boo Radley on the computer, but you need one. Knock you upside your head when you do something you ought not do.
Does she have a song called Horny?
I don't know. She don't have a song. She said it because she didn't know.
Well, she's feisty, though. If I know Loretta Lynn, she went home, and she might not have recorded it, but she went home, and she sat down, and she wrote a song called, I Said Horny on the Radio.
And she sang songs about, before the pill. Remember that? She sang the pill.
Listen, Jackie, if you want to, we can stop right now and go listen to the Cocaine and Rhinestones episode on Loretta Lynn and all her offensive songs. He did not mention I Said Horny on the Radio.
All right. She did. That's not a song. It's what happened in real life. A movie said anyway.
He's got a Patreon, too, so go give money to another podcast Patreon.
Go to ours first, and if you got something left over, give to him. Go. Maybe don't people. You gonna send people to other podcasts they're gonna like better than this one.
Well, you know what? There's a good one. There's a bunch of good ones.
I don't.
It's
know.
only like he does. We'll just talk about Cocaine Rhinestone. Cocaine Rhinestone. They did like 12 episodes, right. So he does them. They puts them all out. Ain't like we have to do one. We have to drag our ass in here every week and shit this out.
Aye.
He reads books for it. He sits down and he reads books and highlights things.
Well, then maybe he does deserve $1 or $2 then.
Yeah, go give your money to Tyler Mahan Co.
Someone that works for the money.
Someone working hard, reading, highlighting. He's got access to the Country Music Hall of Fame archives, and he's going, folks, if you haven't heard this podcast, it's Cocaine Rhinestones History of Country Music. I'm sure you have.
That's your sponsor, now I need to do mine.
That ain't my sponsor.
Well, you've been saying it over and over again. Tell people to go to the pages.
You're talking about Loretta Lynn saying
you started
getting in trouble on the radio. That's a whole episode.
Because you was running your mouth like she did. Except you know what it means.
If you got a two-parter on Buck Owens, I'm going to say you're secretly listening to these.
Well, listen here now. I won't talk about my sponsor here. I got some terrible news I got to break, but I got to go ahead and break it. Now, we were doing, Victor Mileage is directing this musical show about the life of Junior Samples of Hee Haw fame. Many records about fishing. Lots of stories that he told. A funny, funny man. A hero to me and a lot of people. And I think I was just thrilled to death to be involved. Again, like I said, I'm wrangling these H dogs, which means haunted. People will call them haunted dogs, but they ain't haunted. They're sick. Something's odd about them. Yes, sir, definitely. But no, haunted. But anyhow, nicknames stick, and so I call them the H dogs. Plus, they didn't have room to list all the names in the program. They just going to say sick dogs played by H dogs. Which I said, you could just say sick dogs played by sick dogs.
Why didn't they just name them the sick dogs?
They didn't think that was right for whatever reason.
I guess if you're trying to pack the seats, people would much rather come see a bunch of haunted dogs than they would a bunch of sick dogs.
Well, that ain't my field. I don't know how you decide things like that. I just know I got to haul these dogs from my house out here.
I mean, I'm no P.T. Barnum, but
I take them go to rehearsals. Then I take them, because the dogs are in the show, if I didn't make that clear. I'm a wrangler. I help them get, hit the marks where they're supposed to be, clean up after them a little bit here and there, and then I run them back home. Take them to the theater, and I run them back home. So
you're sort of the Joe Camp of now, wait a minute. I think we talked about Benji a lot on this podcast. I mean, we're sort of the Cocaine and Rhinestones of Benji, but didn't we find out who was the guy? There's two Benji men. Right, there's Joe Camp. There's Joe Camp's Benji, who I think was the owner of Benji. But then there's a man in the captain's hat. You know what I'm talking about? You'd see his picture next to Benji.
I thought that was Joe Camp. That's not him.
I think that may be somebody else.
I didn't. Who is he? Joe Camp better look into it if somebody else is saying it's him and that's his dog. Because he wasn't in the movies. The man with the captain's hat was just with the dog. You see him when they talk about the movies. But then he never showed up in the movie. Just Benji and kids or a bobcat or something every now and then.
And see, some people would, like if Donald Trump owned Benji, he would have put himself in them movies too. That's why Joe Camp, you could tell, he cared more about making a good product than his own ego.
Well, who's the man in the hat then if that ain't Joe Camp? I always thought that was Joe Camp. What is he? Is he the manager or something?
Maybe he's Benji's manager.
Well,
I'm looking up, folks, on this podcast, we look up a lot of the pictures on my phone. Yeah, I think Joe Camp is just an old man. Here's a picture of him. Just an old man with gray hair holding a dog.
Well, who's a man with the captain's hat, the mustache? I thought that was a man that...
The guy looked like Cappy Dick from the Tennessee and Comics pages. Anybody?
He was a man that run the dog around.
Benji, man in hat. Folks, we're Googling... Hold on a second. We're going to finish these sponsors up.
I need to do a sponsor, so we got other stuff we got to do. I can't sit there all day looking at men in hats that own Benji. Benji's now, that's a professional dog. See, now you've already put expectations out there. These dogs, this is their debut. They've never been part of show business before, but they're taking to it, I think.
Yeah, I'd say go ahead. You can go ahead with your sponsor if you're waiting on me to find out who the man in the hat is.
I ain't no more. I don't know whoever he is. They can listen to you. I'm gonna do my sponsor, but these dogs, they're just breaking them in to give them anything you give purpose in life and to give them something they like to enjoy. Now they vomit a lot of cold blood and
ice cold blood.
There's something odd about them. They're sick, but
Frank N.
Who?
Frank N.
Well, what is he in relation to
Benji? Is a fictional character created by Joe Camp. He has been focus of several movies. Benji with Frank N. Here's a picture of Frank N. wearing that hat. Frank N. was an American animal trainer.
So he trained him.
He trained several animals for movies, including the dogs in the Benji series.
So one man just owned him and and the other man...
And the cat, Orangey.
Did all the tricks. Orangey,
a man. This feels like what we would do in our bonus episode. I should have saved this for 20 extra minutes. Orangey, a male marmalade tabby cat, was an animal actor owned and trained by the cinematic animal handler Frank N. Really? And they took our Wikipedia down? Oh, he played the title role in Rhubarb, a story about a cat who inherits a fortune. Shit.
Well, I ain't ever heard no orange.
Oh, he was Cat in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, that's an old movie.
Oh, he was also the cat in the 1959 film adaptation of The Diary of Anne Frank.
Well, he didn't have a movie all to himself like Benji did he?
Was also credited as being the family pet in The Incredible Shrinking Man, in which he's mistakenly assumed to have eaten the title character.
Well,
damn, that's some range.
Well, he's never. If it ain't a real star unless your name's over the your name's on the poster. With Benji, Benji's name's in the damn title.
Listen, I don't care what you say. I say props to Orangey and Mr. Frank N.
Well,
so that's Benji.
I've never seen no movie with Orangey in it. If I don't remember none of those you talked to about it.
You don't remember Breakfast at Tiffany's?
I know it's an old movie, but I don't remember watching it. Why would I watch it? And it's in color, I think. I don't think it's black and white. It ain't that old.
Do you remember the song Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Nope.
Okay, well, are we done here? Or?
No, I've been trying to. You won't talk about Benji, everything else, and Orange and all that. I'm trying to talk about my animals, my entertaining animals in this show.
Orangey sounds like the name of one of your dogs.
Oh,
and Tyler Mahan Co. sounds like the name of one of our sponsors.
Look, now listen, let me explain the situation. I'm excited to be a part of this show. I'm excited to get it on its feet and get it running. They're still changing some lines here and adding a song here too. Victor Mileage, he's a director, and he's doing a good job. And we were more than proud and honored to have Mr. Vince Gill portraying Junior Samples, which surprisingly, if you'd have said that off the cuff, I'd be like, nah, I don't see that. But when he showed up and put them overalls on, he was Junior Samples, except could sing good. And Amy Grant, bless her heart, like she was along for the ride, didn't have nothing to do, and Victor Mileage put his creative thinking cap on and he said, you could be in the show, what would you like to do? And she didn't know, but she's playing herself when she was a little girl. She got like pigtails on, little dress, and sitting on the side, because she used to watch Junior Samples on TV, on Hee Haw when she grew up. So she's playing herself over. She just sits over the side and just watches,
Is she like the stage manager from our town? She comes out and introduces it?
No, she just sits there and watches it.
How many of you remember a show called Hee Haw, she says?
No, she just sits there, she act like she turned TV on. She'll reach out and turn like a...
Is there a real TV there,
no,
or is she pantomiming?
Pantomiming or whatever.
Really?
It's theater. It's creative, and then he comes out.
So Amy Grant comes out in pigtails and a little dress and sits down and pantomimes turning on a TV set to watch Hee Haw.
And then Vince Gill comes out and starts the show, But listen, it breaks my heart to tell you this. Unfortunately, Vince Gill will not be performing as Junior Samples in A Loud Wet Heart. The story of Junior Sample, previously known as the Loud Wet Heart. The name has been changed, but also Mr. Vince Gill had an allergy, and bless his heart, he tried and tried. You talk about a trooper, somebody that just don't want to give up. Well, he got around the Ace Dogs, and he'd get the itching and the sneezing and just going on. And first, we thought, well, maybe he's just adding this to the show will make it interesting. Actors do different things to try to make it interesting or whatever. But sure enough, he was suffering, bless his heart. His eyes were running, couldn't sing. He couldn't, his throat would get clogged up almost. Of course, he still kind of sounded like Junior Sample when he's like that, but he couldn't sing. And sure enough, we went to like a clinic of allergies and asthma, and it come out that he just cannot be around these animals on stage, so there's just no way he could do it. And it breaks our hearts, and I wish, we thought for a minute, maybe and it was going to break my heart to do this, but I wanted the show to be good. Maybe we just take the scene out where all the dogs were in there, and there was talk about getting some, statue dogs or whatever it is,
like from a garden supply store or something.
Something like that to have around. And Victor Mileage insisted, no, it has to be the Ace Dogs. That's it. And I'm sorry. Vince Gill, and he's the director. He's making the choices, so be it. And Vince Gill understood and had to go on, and I'm sure he's going to go on to bigger and better things. I don't have, he is Vince Gill. He'll be fine, but we sure will miss him. And I think the world's missing one hell of a performance, one hell of a performance as Junior Samples. Unfortunately, we won't get to see that. So it breaks my heart to share that news. Fortunately, Amy Grant, she's going to stay, though. She's got to where she's enjoyed being there, and, so she will still be staying in the production. Now, we didn't have no understudy. We didn't have anybody to jump in there, so we were kind of left us in a pickle, so to speak. But Victor Mileage, he got into his, Rolodex, what they call it, got to looking through his names and numbers, and he knows all these actors, and he found this fella. I'm telling you what. This fella, it's like Vince Gill, except without a runny nose and coughing and sneezing. It's Mr. Dilltop is what I like to call him. And Boyden Dilltop is
Boyden Dilltip.
Dilltip. Yes, that's what I said, wasn't it?
It's Boyden Dilltip, the Vince Gill impersonator from my show.
Well,
Junior Christ Superstar, Sample Star.
No.
Junior Christ Sample Star, my show.
No.
My Vince Gill impersonator.
Not anymore.
Who played Junior Samples in my show.
Listen. If you was a struggling actor out there in the world and you had an opportunity, you can't just, I know there's loyalty and whatnot, but you can't turn this down, the opportunity to work with Amy Grant and Victor Mileage. You can't expect him to do that.
But he was already working with Mirabella Genesee, who was portraying Tanya Tucker influenced Amy Grant in my production as Mary Magdalene.
No.
And Junior Christ Sample Star.
No.
The Story of the Laziest Jesus.
Bless her heart, I'm sure she's doing a fine job in that, and that's fine. I think that's still sacrilege, but so be it. Nothing against Miss Genesee, but Amy Grant, we got the real Amy Grant, and we got the as close to Vince Gill as you can get. I get doing Junior Samples, of course, as you can get. We got in our show. So the show's going on, and I tell you what, since Boyden Dilltip got involved in this production, things changed. We were all down in the dumps, as you can imagine, losing Vince Gill, and also just hoping they'd feel better, too. It wasn't just about losing him. They wanted, he was fine when he got away from dogs, thank goodness. But I tell you what, he's brought so much energy and a different kind of a feel to this, and it wouldn't be right to go on with the title. This is what Victor Miles decided, and I agree with it. It wouldn't be good to go with the title, A Loud Wet Heart. He decided to change it because of this new angle kind of looking at it and everything. And I like this new name. It's now officially, it's no longer A Loud Wet Heart, the Junior Sample Story. It is now Sampleston, the story of Junior Samples.
Sampleston.
Yeah.
The hip-hop influence story of Junior Samples.
I don't know, hip-hop, all that. There may be something like that. Victor Mileage knows about theater stuff, so he's the one that did it. Don't ask me. I like it, what I've seen so far now. I think it's good.
That was one of my early drafts that I worked on with Victor Mileage before he went over to work with my daddy in Numpo Town, Dunlap Village.
Well, I don't know anything about that.
He ripped me off. It's one of the songs, My Name is Junior Sampleston.
I think it's one of the songs.
My name is Junior Sampleston.
Yeah.
And this sign says BR541.
Yeah.
I mean nine.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
I am not throwing away this fish. Is that one of them?
I think this is the whole thing about him not throwing away the fish.
I am not throwing away this fish.
Yeah.
It's just like a crappie. It's wet, smelly, and floppy, and I'm not throwing away this fish. I wrote that.
You didn't write that. Now, Victor Mileage, when y'all were together, you might have said something with him, or he may have showed it to you, but I know damn well you didn't write that. That's Victor Mileage's work. I can see you got his fingerprints all over it.
It's got my fingerprints all over it. I can show you the The napkin, I wrote it on from Dodge's, and it's got my fingerprints and tater log grease.
That don't mean nothing. I don't believe that at all. I trust Victor Mileage. He's good, and I love these Ace dogs. They're doing good. And this Boyd and Dill Tip is one hell of a Vince Gill and singing and Junior Samples acting fella that I've ever seen. And Sampleston, we're still getting it on his feet, but that's my sponsor. It's going to be out in Uppo Town. We're going to have it up and running, hopefully within the next few months. So go ahead. I think tickets should go on sale on the computer where you say online.
Are you still taking classes from Peter Pump 'em Up? Because you are really enthusiastically selling this disaster.
I don't have time to take no class for Peter Pump 'em Up. All I got time to do is look after these dogs. I really don't, because it's so good. It's almost about, I'd take about 15 minutes off of it, but it's a 2-hour drive to get these dogs out there and get them out, and clean up after them, get them back in the truck and get them home. I ain't got time to get nothing. I could use a little Peter Pump 'em Up pep talk, but I just ain't got time for it. I got to take care of all these dogs.
Let me ask you a few questions.
Oh, hell, don't just...
So just to clarify, your sponsor is Sampleston, the hip-hop story of Junior Samples that Victor Mileage ripped off from me.
Well, you saying that, I don't believe that necessarily. Y'all need to work that out in court or something. I ain't one to decide any of that, but that don't sounds fishy to me.
Here's my question.
What you writing any of it?
I started this whole Junior Samples. You're the one that told me I could go to Branson and work for years and years doing it.
But then you put all the sex stuff in it. And nobody wants to see that. Nobody in Branson wants to see Junior Samples sex show. No one. Anywhere.
Junior Samples was human, and he would be the first to admit that. When Vince Gill started talking about Junior Samples, would he get to crying?
Well, every now and then, yeah.
Okay.
Not all the time. It would. Sometimes he crying. Sometimes the allergies were getting in his eyes.
Well, it's that time of year.
No, it's a dog. The dogs.
Right. Well, my second question is about this cover-up, because it sounds to me that Vince Gill gets sick after hanging around with the haunted dogs, who have been known
Ace dogs
to infect human beings by possessing them.
Only been a couple of people like that we know of. I think it.
I think Vince Gill is in the hospital throwing up ice cold devil blood.
Oh,
because these haunted dogs have possessed him, just like they possessed your Catholic friend Padre.
Oh, shush. He ain't possessed. He just ain't got no place to stay. He acts a little weird lately, yeah, but he ain't possessed.
How's he doing?
Well,
How's my daddy doing? Because he was acting weird.
Your dad been, I'm out there and my focus is all on those animals, but he come in one day and hey, how you doing? Didn't even look at me. Didn't look me in the eye. I don't know if he was brooding on something else or whatever, but he come in, looked up around everywhere in that feeder, that little clamshell, whatever you want to call it.
The blood altar is what they used to call it.
Oh, hell, they don't.
At first it was the Sniffy Smuth, because it's a Snuffy Smith theme park, but he couldn't get the right, so now it was Sniffy Smuth theme park, and but for a while they were calling the Moonshine Clamshell the blood altar, and I don't know if they've gone back to that, because in the Dunlap Village Gazette, folks, you may want to go back a few episodes and listen to some of these sponsor segments to catch yourselves up. In the Dunlap Village Gazette, sometimes they call it the blood altar, and sometimes they call it the Moonshine Clamshell, so it's kind of hard to tell what the official name is.
Whatever it is, your daddy come in there and looked it up and down, back and forth like he's angry about something, and walked out. Didn't say a word to nobody, so I don't know what it was.
Did he have that machete?
He didn't have a machete, but he had a whip. He had a whip in his hand. He just kind of,
he's had that whip since he saw Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, he had it for a while.
Last Ark? Is it the Last Ark? Raiders of the Last Ark?
Like Indiana Jones, right?
Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Last Ark.
Last one, yeah. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's always the last one.
All those movies the same. He'd call them all part one, part two. I don't know any difference in that. Indiana Jones.
If you're going around digging up artifacts, you never know which one's going to be the last one.
Yeah.
It may be the last one of these I got here. I got another question for you. So Vince Gill's in the hospital puking up ice cold blood, possessed by the devil.
In the hospital still that I know of. He went to Vanderbilt,
Got a Z-Pack.
And Vanderbilt Asthma and Allergy Clinic. Now, he
Oh.
had to stay there for a few days. I don't know if he's still there. I asked her, excuse me, I shouldn't call her that. I do it, Miss Grant, excuse me. And I asked her, I said, how's he doing? And she says, she just, she was trying to get ready to, she was focusing on getting ready to turn that knob or whatever it was. She, with her sitting there watching, she just shushed me. Didn't want to. I just want to know. And that's what she does. I didn't take offense to it because some people prepare for that sort of thing, entertainers in different ways. So I respect her.
You really are getting into the arts.
Well, I'm learning a lot. I'll tell you that right now.
It's a different side of you, and you owe it all to the dogs.
I do owe it to all these and Victor Mileage. Let's be honest now, Victor Mileage.
I do have one more question.
All right, just.
Why is Amy Grant still in the show?
I don't know. What do you mean? Why is she still in the show?
If Vince Gill dropped out because he's allergic to dogs or is puking up ice cold blood and possessed by Satan, why is she still there turning on an imaginary TV set?
Ask her. She's still available. The dogs didn't make her allergic. It don't affect her that way. Why would she leave?
Because
Just because her husband, you just have to follow your husband wherever he goes, where you trying to be all sexist. She's entitled to do whatever she wants to. She's an entertainer, can do what she wants. Just because he got sick, and it doesn't mean she has to go follow and tend to him. If she's she's an artist too. She has every right to, just because he couldn't do it don't mean that she can't.
All I'm saying is when Boyd and Dealtip got the call to abandon my show, Junior Christ Sample Star, to go over to Sampleston, Mirabella Genesee was pretty sure she was going to get the call, too, to go over and do the Amy Grant part.
Well, no offense to her, but she ain't Amy Grant, is she? She may, if we had our druthers, Vince Gill and him for that matter too would still be there. Those dogs just make him sick as could be. Coughing, sneezing, coughing up, and it was awful. And then bless his heart, he tried to stick through it and just couldn't do it. But so far, Mr. Diddletip, he ain't affecting him none. He pets him and stuff. He laughs when he gets some blood on him. He thinks
That's a good sport.
Well, yeah, he is. Well, he getting to work with victimized people like that and Amy Grant. You'd be excited too to be there. You ain't gonna complain nut.
Jackie, I got a sponsor this week that I think you.
What?
I have a confession to make.
Oh hell!
I'm in love.
What?
I'm in love with a beautiful tater log. If I said you had a beautiful tater log, would you hold it against me? Folks, of course, I'm talking about Dodge's tater logs. You ain't got nothing to do if you eating a tater log. Go on down to Dodge's store and get you a sack or box full of delicious, crispy, flaky, gigantic tater logs.
They're good, yeah.
And corn dogs, too.
Yeah, they got corn dogs, too.
And fried chicken legs.
Yep.
That's Dodge's. I got a suitcase full of them right now, Jackie, outside.
Suitcase?
And I got a suitcase full of my clothes because I'm through.
What?
I'm through trying to explain how much you hate Donald Trump.
What?
I'm through sitting down here in whatever store we're in right now. I'm through sitting around watching you get screwed by Pinky Piglet Styron.
That's none of your
and his
business.
daughter,
First off, and then she ain't done.
Nashville lawyers.
She ain't ripped me off. Ain't no Nashville. None of your business. Stay out of if it ain't your business, stay out of it.
I'm through driving around this one-horse town of Murfreesboro, seeing your face on the side of every other building and knowing you get no money from it at all.
You just jealous is all.
You're getting more money from our Patreon. Thanks, everybody, for kicking in. And folks, I hate to disappoint you. I know we always said we were going to quit after 300, and then we got the Patreon going, and we were like, well, I guess we'll keep doing it now.
Well, yeah.
But I just don't know.
Don't know.
In good faith, I started working on my Junior Samples one-man show person show. Musical.
And then you would have been good in it, too. But no, you had to add all the sex stuff.
Victor Mileage started proposing perverse sexual scenes.
Oh, hell, he come around on it. At least he got his thinking right, and you stayed in the gutter.
The Junior Samples family warned us against it.
They did, indeed.
Actually, I guess it should have been Senior Christ Jample Star. No, that thing.
Well,
Doesn't matter now, because I'm through. When I saw Mirabella Genesee, Tanya Tucker, Amy Grant impersonator, crying in her Mary Magdalene outfit. When I saw Raggedy Andy, you know Raggedy Andy?
Bilkins, yeah.
Yeah, I call him Raggedy. When I saw him crying, knowing that the show was falling apart. When I saw Cindy Hatchett, the new drama teacher, who's not that young, she went back to school and got her degree. The only drama teacher, though, that had come out and helped me. When I saw her crying when she knew the show was over. When I saw Jackie impersonator crying. When I saw the dogs crying.
What, the dogs? What the dogs
They were
crying?
whimpering.
What?
Long-time listeners know.
What'd you do to 'em?
To who, Jackie? Can you even remember their names?
I'll go to the grave knowing their names. That's Barky, Ranger, Vesta, and Vesta's friend.
Zesta, big close.
Zesta. I know them. They were my friends. They were my dog for a while.
When they saw Boyd and Dilltip, who is good with dogs, by the way. Vince Gill impersonator Boyd and Dilltip.
No, he's great with these animals.
Really good with dogs.
Yeah, he is.
And they loved him. And when they saw him drive away to go to Numpletown, Dunlap Village, to be in Trader Victor Mileage's rip-off Sampleston hip-hop story of Junior Samples with Jackie dog wrangling, driving sick, haunted dogs, we all knew it was over.
Man.
We all knew that the end was near for my dream of a haunted dog Junior Samples musical one-person show. I've been sitting at Dodge's. I give my letter of resignation to Dodge's Tater Log Store.
What? You give him a resignation?
I said, I know I've been working on doing a Dear Junior Samples. You know that Broadway show, Dear Evan Hansen?
Huh?
I was going to do Dear Junior Samples. Like he started writing letters to himself and somebody commits suicide and he breaks his arm.
I wouldn't want to see that, no.
Dear Junior Samples, no. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with Senior Jamples.
Yeah.
I'm done with, I guess I could call into this podcast. I'm moving to New York City.
What?
To work at the New York location of Dodge's Tater Log Store.
You ain't going to New York.
And I'm going to do it off Broadway.
Oh, hell.
I'm an artist, Jackie, and artists belong in New York City.
You ain't going to last in New York City. Where you going to stay in New York City? You ain't got no money to get up there.
I'll stay in some bed-bug-infested flea trap.
You'll be lucky to find that there.
How much is Trump Tower going for these days?
Well,
hey, Kent, used to, when I said New York City, I'd never set foot up there in Yankee Town.
I wouldn't want to go.
But now that Donald Trump has sort of ruined the whole country the way he did New York City, I'm like, I guess we're all equally awful now. So up to New York City I go. If anybody needs a taste of Senior Jample's down-home, southern, slow-talking, fish-catching wisdom, it's New York City.
They ain't going to go see Senior Jamples or Junior Sample. None of it. They don't care anything about that. They like Lion Kings up there.
I'll put a line in my show. I'm a showman. I'm an artist and a showman.
Yeah, well,
I care about money and art.
Ain't nobody going to let you do nothing there. You had a good opportunity here. You and Victor Miles could have worked things out and figured out the right way to do it, and you'd still be up on stage doing Junior Samples. But no, you got to throw fit. Go on to New York. See if I give a damn. You ain't going to do nothing but whine and mope about everything. Go on.
Oh.
Get your butt up there. Go.
Oh, I will, Jackie.
You'll be back.
I'm going to get Cindy Hatchett to drive me up there.
Well,
She's on spring break from school.
give him my best.
And when I get to New York City, don't think that I won't be thinking of you as I kick out the footlights on the Great White Way.
It don't make a difference to me whether you do or not.
And when you hear me give my acceptance speech on the Tony Awards,
I ain't never going to be watching that.
I won't be thanking you.
That's
You'll
fine.
know I'm thinking when I don't thank you on the Tony Awards, it's me.
Well, all right. That's fine.
And you guys can do your pathetic little low-rent, local, whatever, out in
You
the
like what
woods
you're saying.
bullshit.
Yeah, you tell that to Amy Grant. I'd like to see you say that to her face. Yeah,
I wouldn't say that to Amy
I
Grant.
know you wouldn't. That's what I'm saying. You watch your language around her. You already need to watch her language out of respect, but also when she dressed up like a little girl like that, it makes it worse.
No, it's like a Tony Robbins thing. I'd tower over her anyway. I don't want to whatever she says, go.
Treat her with respect. Yes, sir.
So that's Dodge's Tater Logs. You ain't got nothing to do if you are eating a tater log.
I'll see you later. Go on up there.
I'm going.
Okay.
Do you have any money?
Oh, hell no. No.
$20.
I'll every little bit of money I got left, I can only get so much out of production funds to feed these animals. I ain't got no money for you. Hell no.
You need to get. They're not paying you to feed these. You're
They
getting
give
screwed
you-
left
they-
and right.
No, they give you some. Like I said, there's only so much that's allotted to each person for their particular, function within the production. And I just get so much, it ain't enough money to feed all the dogs. And I know that, and I say, well, I'll pick up a slack, and I don't mind. But unfortunately, the money I got to spend on the feeding them, some of that money was supposed to go for gas money, too, from hauling them out there and back, and that ain't working out. So, no, hell no, I ain't got no damn money to give you for nothing.
How as naive as you are,
Oh, shut your
have
mouth.
I not bilked you for much more money?
You stole enough and got enough of them over the years, you ain't getting no more. Not a nickel, no, sir.
I have been lax.
Now's the time that we both have to go. Our podcast come out really great. We know our time is at an end. So until we meet again, we'll just have to say goodbye, friend. Saying bye-bye always brings us down. But our bags are packed and we have to leave town. A postcard to you we will send if a stamp to us you'll lend, so we can write and say goodbye, 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 goodbye.
The Great White Way, the Big Apple,
Yeah.
Broadway City, USA.
Go on,
I'm going.
get up there. You be living in the street.
I don't care.
About 5 minutes.
Be better than this.
That's what you want to go up there in New York and be a homeless person. That's what you want to do.
I want to go up to New York and be an artist.
A what?
An artist.
It's the same thing.